Well, good morning. Join me this morning back on the banks of my local river Ouse. Day 2 of the run down to the end of the season. I've actually come back to the same place where I fished yesterday. I had one or two breamers, some nice skimmers. I got out first light this morning, had a good walk along the river here and further along as well. And this sort of area was the only area I saw any signs of any fish. Odd fish blowing, did see a couple of fish top further down. So I thought, well, why not? There was one or two fish in the area yesterday. Why not have a go today? Hedge me bets. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Totally different morning. It was supposed to be a frost last night, it wasn't. Yeah, as you can see, t-shirt. Yesterday, you know, it was about -1, I think it was, something like that. And it was definitely challenging conditions to start with, but we managed to pick up one or two fish. Say, totally different conditions today. The river's still running again. It's got a tinge of colour, I would say, not a massive amount. Probably similar to what it was yesterday. Started off, put out, say, about 15 big feeder fulls, I suppose, in the same area where I fished. There was one or two fish blowing. So hopefully, we might get the head down. A bit of weed. No, it was a fish. Thought that was a bit of weed then. Tip slowly pulled round and there was like I say, there was a lump of weed just round by the line. I thought that's what it was. So this ain't a bad start, is it? So I'm fishing exactly in the same setup as what I was doing yesterday. Like I say, literally, this is probably, what, third cast? Fishing me Cadence CR10 13 foot number 2. Got an ounce tip in today. Like I say, I did. There was one or two yesterday, really shy biting fish. So I've got a little bit bigger bow, and I've got a softer tip. Still fishing an ounce feeder. 5-pound mainline. I've got CS 4000 reel covered in ground bait. Just fishing usual helicopter rig. And on here today, because I started off with 014 yesterday, but I got most of the bites with a sort of smaller size 16 and 012, so I'm fishing exactly the same as how I ended up yesterday. That's a lovely fish. Get in there, my babby. And what did Charlie say? Go on, babby. Oh, that ain't a bad old start. Look at that. Absolute beast. Definitely a bit bigger than what we were getting yesterday. Absolute gorgeous start. Excuse me a minute. Oh, look at that. God, can hardly hold him. Got some reminiscence of the good old channel. Look at that. That ain't a bad start, is it now? Jeez. Let's get her in the net. So I thought yesterday, sort of last night, was having a bit of thinking. Do I head back here? Do I try somewhere else? Because I knew the fish were in the area yesterday. They definitely want it moving. Because when that dropped off, the bites dropped off yesterday. But picked up a little bit, and I did have another couple before I finished yesterday. So it's almost like peg revisited, if you like. Get rid of that slime. So we're fishing the size 16 MXB2 matrix, and I've got my little stop there. Stop any weed. Same with the two up above. There's my helicopter rig. And a 1 ounce Nisa plastic feeder. Ain't a bad start to the day. Fishing exactly, like I say, fishing exactly like yesterday. Double fluoro maggot on the hook. There we go. I'm putting a pinch of dead reds and a pinch of castor in with the feeder when I go out. Is literally everything the same as yesterday. Ground bait is exactly the same, which I'll show you in a minute. So just follow the feeder down. There we go. And just pay a bit off. On the rest, let the flow take up the slack. So ground bait, like I say, is the same as yesterday. Oh, but now it's the max feeder, bait tech max feeder, Pro Natural Bream Dark. So you got that dark olivey green mix, very strong as well. There's my fluoros. That's what I'm using on the hook. There's a bit of a mixture there. I've done some of my own yesterday, so I've added them to it as well. I've got some reds, got some pinkies, so I've got some worms. But yesterday, never put any worm in. Very, very reluctant to be fair. See how the session pans out. I'm just going to keep that dead maggot and castor going in for the time being. Like I say, sometimes worm can pay off when they get these big fish in the swim, but also it can be the kiss of death. So, third cast, I've had a fish, so I'm just going to feel my way in. There's a bite. Just going to feel my way in. If I feel as though I need to put some worm in, I'll chop a few up. But as it is at the moment, I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm doing. Just see how the fish want it. Start getting, you know, if I do start getting 1 or 2 fish, then it tails off. Then I will chop a few up. To get a fish like that third cast, I'm a little bit reluctant to do anything too drastic, to be honest. So we'll check in with you in a bit, and hopefully we might be catching 1 or 2. You never know. As you can see, it's got a little bit chilly. Swapped over, been chopping and changing with the baits, and I've got double red maggot on, and I've caught fish straight away. Come on, come on, give me. Oh, got him. Decent fish again. Oh. So a lot bigger than ones we were getting yesterday. so well worth the wait. Oh, beauty. There we go. So it's probably about another £1.5 bigger. £1 or so bigger than I was getting yesterday. So if you've got to wait a little while, not too bad. Loads of rubbish coming through on top at the moment. It's making life a little bit difficult. But so the rowers have started. They haven't been about for a long time just yet. First time I've seen any rowers come by in ages since the pandemic. They have got the boat race on here, sort of April time, so probably by the sounds of things are going to be chaotic today, but only time will tell. Let's get the bait back out there, see what we can get. Well, since I caught that last bream, not had another single indication. The flow, well, I don't know what they're doing with the flow. I mean, it's eased a little bit, then next minute it's absolutely ripping through. The levels actually probably dropped. Looking at it, that's got to be about 3 inches, 2-3 inches maybe since I've been fishing. Got the tins in front of me here, and that's down definitely a good 2 inches. But yeah, I just can't get a touch on anything. I've tried double maggot, treble maggot, single. I've tried caster, tried worm. I can't get a bite on anything whatsoever. Very strange, because like I say, I mean, I had those couple of fish quite quick, really. Then I had another one. But yeah, it's very strange. Like I say, having the sun coming out doesn't help. There isn't as much cloud cover as yesterday. But we're still hopeful. Like I say, I'm probably going to give it another hour. Don't get any more bites, I'm going to pack up. For tomorrow is another day. Got some adverse conditions coming in the week. So, got to pick and choose my days. Might get out for a few hours tomorrow. Tuesday doesn't look too bad. Then the rest of the week looks absolutely abysmal. And if unless the forecast changes, the last day of the season doesn't look great either. But we live in hope. So just keep plugging away. Just keep chopping and changing between the baits. Have sort of 15-20 minutes on one bait. Change to something else. And just see what happens. But hopefully, might get another one yet before we go. There we go, hard fought today. Had 4 bites. Got 3 bream. Lovely fish. All in all, a bit disappointed, but very eventful, catching 3 lovely fish like that. Hopefully, might get 1 or 2 more before the season finishes. So I'll catch you next time on the bank. Oosh.